Welcome to She Chose Joy with Melanie, where we discuss all things love, freedom, wellness, and joy. I'm your host, Melanie Foote-Davis, also known as the Soul Whisperer. I often say that I'm surrounded by power and brilliance. And my guest today is one of the reasons I say that. She's my sister-in-love, Paula Frank, a former corporate executive turned entrepreneur who turned her 20-year part-time floral design and gift box passion into a full-time labor of love. She has an extensive expertise and a proven track record for providing strategic vision and operational experience to Fortune 500 brands. She consistently delivered proactive and pioneering approaches for a modern workforce and became known for several first-time transformation achievements. Marrying her business expertise and natural creativity, Paula launched Luxe and You Gifts and Floral Designs with a mission to deliver joy through gift giving daily. So here she is, my sister-in-love, Paula Frank. Hello there. Hey, sis.
Hey, sis. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Welcome to She Chose Joy.
Thank you for having me. It is an honor. You know, I'm a big fan of yours, so I'm so excited to be here today.
You know, and I am a fan of yours too. I was talking about you this morning to my husband. I was like, I'm so excited. I'm going to be interviewing my sister. And I was like, she has just been such a gift. So let me not talk about you like you're not here. Like, you have been such a gift to me, which was one of the things I was sharing with him. And I said, Sean, she has been like, God just continues to put amazing people on my path. And I just feel so honored that you have been like on my side since the day we met.
Oh.
And so I don't take that lightly. I am so grateful for your presence in my life. And I'm absolutely delighted that I get to share you with my audience.
Yes, me too. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. You two have been just a gift to me. You know, I've been this year, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, but this year has been such a transition for me. And to your point, from the day we met, we've been sort of on this journey of discovery and rediscovery. And I'm just so grateful for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into this, right?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, like you were talking about this year you've been on this journey. So let me just say this. I am like super excited about all of the amazing things that are happening in your world. And I think back to like a year or so ago when you said in March, I'm going to be out of there. I don't know if you even remember saying that or not.
Oh, that time was a blur. It's such a blur. But yeah, I do remember. I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go back for a minute and so that the listeners can know what we're talking about. I pulled up one of your Instagram posts and it said, hold on, of course I would lose it right when I need it. Your post said, making a big life change is pretty scary. But you know what is even scarier? Regret.
Regret. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. What were you speaking to when you talked about making a big life change? That can be scary.
Yeah. Scary. So a little bit about me, I guess maybe my professional background and why this has been such a transition year for me. I've been in the corporate space for, geez, close to 30 years and, been sort of honing my skills and moved from role to role. And at the height of my success, which, people will look at it and say, oh my gosh, this woman, this Black woman, has gotten to a place where we consider that maybe like I made it. And I'm really thankful because now I can look in hindsight and see that all those experiences served me. But I was last year in, sort of at the end of last year, knowing that my heart wasn't full and that I needed to do something different. And it started with knowing like, who is Paula? We change constantly, right? And so my evolution was happening and I had to decide, like, I had to like search for me. Like, who am I now? What brings me great joy? Am I aligned with my purpose? Does this feel right? And then, when some of the answers turned out to be no, I knew I needed to I knew I needed to pivot. And so, I would say probably November of last year. I was thinking, okay, it's time to plan your exit. And exits are good. Sometimes, we're in spaces that just no longer serve us for whatever reason. And I decided it was time to make a move. So I hatched my plan and I got ready and I started like figuring out how am I going to support myself? How am I going to do all these things? And realize this is a faith walk. And my transition would have to lean on my faith because I'm a person, I like to plan and I like to check off things. I'm an executor. I'm like, go, 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 which sometimes doesn't serve me well because I think sometimes I'm overdeveloped in that area. So I had to rest and I had to lean on my faith. And so in March of this year, I quit my job. And that's when life opened up for me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You said something that I just want to take a moment to spend a little time with. You said my evolution was happening.
Yeah.
Can you say a little bit more about what you meant by that?
Yeah, I mean, it still is happening. And when I think about March and then, being in the middle, almost the middle, well, the beginning sort of November, I'm in a very different place. And when I think about last November, I was in a very different place. And so I think when I talk about evolution, I'm talking about the finding who I am really, right? And who I'm meant to be in this world and really being on purpose and being clear about why I was even created. Why am I here? And so I had to ask myself questions that I've never asked myself in my entire life. I had to sit with me and I really had to get to know me. Like, who am I? How do I show up in the world? What's really important to me? What are my non-negotiables? What are things that I absolutely know that I must do in this season as I build this new life for myself? And so the evolution for me was really about getting to know me and getting to a place where I feel closer, like more closely aligned to what I know I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Like that just, that's just yummy to me to hear for so many reasons, because what I'm hearing is that you actually took the time to go within, do some reflections. Yeah. And even with you making a choice, like you talked about checking in with yourself and noticing what was aligned. And you were at like the height of your career and success, success based on depending on how people define it,
Depending
right?
on how you define it, right?
And a lot of people walk away when they have a clear plan of what's next, or because there's some type of layoff or downsizing or something like that that kind of pushes them to choose to pivot. But for you, it was different. Because you didn't have, like, to my understanding, you didn't know exactly what your next step was.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like
I
you
had no clue.
reflecting and you digging, but you know that where you are is misaligned. And
For
so
sure.
that is like a huge model for a faith walk when you really have no idea what your next step is.
Yeah, no clue. And I'm glad it happened that way because I'm so used to, as I mentioned, trying to sort of script out my life and, look at the page. Yeah, you're on track. It's page 4 and you're doing it right. But this, I had absolutely no clue. And it was hard. Let me get this like straight. Like it was really hard for me because I had to it was hard for me because I had to just lean on my faith. Like I really had no idea. I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, who I needed to be in this new season. So I needed to rest and listen for guidance and sort of in the asking of so many questions, I started to find my way. But it was sad. It was like a big part of my identity was this identity that I built over 20 plus years, almost 30 years. And maybe not 30, maybe like 25 years. I'm like, wait a minute. So like maybe, but it's this life that I built for myself in the corporate space. And so once that was no longer part of my identity, then it was really like, well, who am I now? Like I need to figure out now that that part is gone because I knew it needed to that particular chapter needed to be, I needed to sort of close that chapter. And so now who am I? So it was hard. It was really hard. And I don't think I think anytime you do something great, the thing before it is it's messy, it's painful. It's like it's sort of like that mess where you must go through it in order to discover, who you are really meant to be, which is where I am now.
I am so glad you shared that part. Because a lot of times we think it's like that somebody else's journey was easier than ours, or we could be sharing your story from the perspective of, hey, I knew it wasn't aligned and I woke up and I said, I'm done. And then the next morning, the sky opened up and it was unicorns and rainbows and, life was just gravy.
Yeah.
But you did have your moments where it was challenging. And me, having the honor and pleasure of being able to talk to you during that time, I was there to be able to witness your highs and your lows. And but one of the things that I really, well, there's so many things about your journey that moves me, but you never, even on the days when you were feeling low, I didn't hear you believing that you had made the wrong decision. It was scary.
That's a good observation. Yeah.
But I never heard you waver from the decision. And you even talked about like just laying it all out for God, to just say, I don't, like, just surrendering it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other thing I remember about your journey that really stuck with me is how you still continue to live your life. Like, you gave yourself permission to feel the ebbs and
Oh,
flows
yeah.
of your emotions. You honored them, but you still live. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, hey sis, well, I'm on my way to Jamaica, but I'll hit you up when I get back. All of these things will happen. Oh, I'm on my way out to dinner with some friends. Oh, well, I'm getting ready to hang out with my nephew. Like, whatever that was for you, you still
Yeah.
continue to feel your feels, the good, the bad, the confusion, and the ugly. And I just have so much respect for that.
Yeah, thank you. And that honestly is the part of me as a person that I am a person of faith. And now it'll, like, a day could look like I go to the park, I'm walking so I could clear my mind. I start crying and I'm like, God, I don't know what I'm going to do, And then at noon, I'm like, yes, go get it. And then, so it's like all over the place sometimes. And I think that's, a part of growth because it's new. So you don't know. And
Right.
so I just did not know. But one thing I did know is that I wasn't going to sit up here and feel sorry for myself because I knew that I had made the right decision in my gut, like that intuition that
Mhm.
and I'm a very responsible person. So when I'm making a big decision, I have thought about it, I've prayed about it, and then I'm here in the decision and nothing can rock me. So I knew I had made the right decision and I was determined to make sure that I was still living in joy. I was gonna go out with my friends, like you mentioned. I was gonna go on my girls' trip to Jamaica, and I was gonna keep living my life and showing up in a joyful way, and in a way that was also full of determination and grit. And I was
Yeah.
gonna get it done day by day and, start building.
Yeah. Something else you did is you volunteered. Like, you donated your time.
I did. I
Can you
did.
share a little bit about that? And then we
Yeah.
get
So,
into what you're doing now.
yeah. So I left my job in March
Mhm.
and I need a routine. So I couldn't be like home and, sometimes it's hard for me to rest, as I'm sure many, many successful women on the planet. And, sometimes the guilt that comes with just resting. And that's one of the things that I kind of struggle with. But I knew I needed to get out and sort of develop a new routine because I wasn't getting up and going to work. And so I said, what do I love doing? And I knew, I was like, I love flowers.
Mhm.
And for 20 years, since, my early 20s, I was, I would do dinner parties for friends. I'd be like in ShopRite and, like all these little stores finding flowers and doing flowers for people. I had even done a couple of weddings. So I love flowers, always have. And I decided there's a florist in West Orange that I absolutely love. I had, been a customer for years, and I decided to call her, this amazing business owner. And I asked her, I said, hey, would you be open to an intern? And she sort of paused for a minute, and I told her that I quit my job and was available if she needed any help. And
Mhm.
she's like, stop by, sure. And so I stopped by. And I think the next day I was interning and soaking up all the knowledge, learning the names of flowers, learning how to properly store things, obviously increasing my design skills by just watching her and her team, very talented team. And, but I went in like, I am going to really bless this experience as it is blessing me. So I swept floors. I did everything everybody else was doing because I wanted to make sure that I was so grateful for the opportunity, and it helped. And if I had not done that, I wouldn't be here. So all things work together for good. But volunteering is certainly a way to learn a new skill, possibly sharpen a skill that you have, and you want to tighten it up a little bit. And I just think it's a great way. I was like, listen, and I hadn't had a paycheck in a minute at this point, so I'm like, pay me nothing. I'm free. This is labor that I am happy to give because I'm also learning. So it was a great gift, and could be it's probably an overlooked way to sort of expand. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, like that just really speaks to your humility. You could have said, well, listen, I am a VP of a Fortune 500 company, and I don't do floors.
Yeah, well, please.
Right.
Right. I know.
You're gonna intern, but here's what I'm gonna do, and here's what I'm not
Right.
gonna do.
Please.
Right. But
Yeah.
no, you got in there, and even thinking about it, I remember different times when we were talking, you were like, well, no, I'll be at the floors from this time to this time, but I'll be available after so and so. Like, you were really committed.
Yeah, I was definitely committed. Yeah. Once I say I'm doing something, when I'm there, I'm committed. I am, and it was a mutually beneficial relationship. And my word, like I honor my commitments for sure. So yes, I was invested for that time that I spent. Absolutely.
And see, there's so many different forms of currency. And so you were donating your time,
Yes.
and you were gaining knowledge and
Oh
experience.
yeah.
It's invaluable. And then
Priceless.
remember,
Absolutely.
I remember that moment when it's like, sis, I know what I want to do.
Oh yeah.
Please, please, please let the people know, what are you doing now? And how does this tie into this beautiful backdrop that I'm seeing?
Yes, yes. So I'll start by saying fear had me thinking that I was going to return to the old, which I said I was leaving. I said that I was going to do something completely different. But I would say June, because I said after I get back from Jamaica, I'm going to decide what I'm doing next. So got back, the trip was the Jamaica trip was June. We got back and I said, all right, I'm going to start having conversations. So I jump on this platform for finding jobs. I start connecting with people and having conversations. And I remember in one of these conversations, I was really selling myself. I'm reading off, not reading off, but telling people why they should hire me. And I was like, but I don't even want this job. So what are you doing? And so I think after that conversation, I realized that I was deathly afraid, because what I wanted to do was to start my own floral business. And this is why representation matters, because having seen such a successful Black entrepreneur florist that I interned for, it showed me that I could absolutely do this. And so, but I was scared. I'm like, I think it's too late in my life to do something like this. Like, do I have the energy to do it? And so it was excuse after excuse, and a bunch of fear-based scenarios running through my head. And then I decided, after, a lot of prayer and meditation and just stillness, that I was going to open up my own gifts and floral business. So in addition to flowers, so I opened up and I launched on September 30th, Luxe and You. It is a gifts and floral business. So the other thing, I love flowers. Like I am obsessed with flowers and floral design, but I also love gift giving. So
Mhm.
this business for me and why it brings me great joy, when I design an arrangement and I deliver it to the person and they like scream or they're like, this person from like the
Mhm.
joy that it gives me
Mhm.
is like unmatched. And that is what I love. I love to give gifts. All my friends and family, they know I'm a gift giver. I love to I just love to give. And so when I think about flowers and gifts in this business, my whole mission is delivering joy daily. And I'm obsessed with delivering joy daily. And so this studio I built in my house. This is my year one studio. I absolutely will next year branch out and have, be in a brick and mortar store. But this is my start. I am I am determined to succeed. And there's no doubt in my mind that I will, because I believe that um, you know, my talent will meet the need and the demand. And again, I believe that I'm fully listening and following and being obedient and living in my purpose. And I'm here.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
here.
You are here. You are
I'm here.
here. And watching you create on Instagram is amazing. Like,
Oh, thank
like
you.
you can see, not only am I experiencing your confidence as you're doing it, just tapping into your skills, but I'm seeing how much you're enjoying it. You see me doing these movements like I'm putting together the floor
Exactly what you
arrangements.
mean.
But here's the thing, it's a joy to just even watch it. So I can only imagine, and then your arrangements are unique.
Thank
They
you.
are beautifully designed. They are big and extravagant and
Yeah,
luxurious, which is all a part of things that are a reflection of what I know to be true for you. And
yeah, thank you.
been
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm a very go big or go home person. And I just know that what I'm doing in this space
Mhm.
will be, it's different. I'm different.
Yeah.
And I believe I have something unique to lend to the, home and lifestyle industry.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. Like I have so much planned for this business. It is like I'm a big dreamer. Sometimes like when I'm speaking about my dreams, and I'm kind of I don't always I don't tell everybody what my dreams are, because some people are like, ooh, like they, but I have a big vision for this business. And but one step at a time. But I'm so excited to finally be here.
Yeah.
And the thing too is it doesn't feel like work. And I would always read those quotes, and the quotes would be like, find something you'd love to do. And it does not, when I come downstairs, like, so we're on a call now, but when this call is over and I have to actually I have to go pick up some vases, but when I come back, I have to make arrangements. I'm in here dancing. I'm in here, like, I have so much fun in here. It just doesn't feel like work. And that's how I know the God-given talent that was laying dormant for years. That I'm in the right place. I'm on purpose, but I also don't take, like that saying, I don't take nothing from my journey now. I wouldn't take nothing from my journey now. I am so glad that I had so many ups and downs, because the journey is, the mountain is never like this, it's like, and mine has been like everyone else's, like so many twists and turns. But I am so happy that I had all those experiences, because they all influenced where I am now.
Yes, yes, and yes. So thank God for that sister who was a model for you, who opened her heart and
Yes.
opened her doors for you to come in and experience that. And you're right, representation does matter.
Really
So
does.
I'm grateful for her presence on your journey, because that also planted a seed for others to
Oh
really
my gosh,
experience
yes.
this gifting. And what I'm hearing you say, if I were to just bring everything that you just shared, um is basically trust the process. You
Mm,
don't have to know all the answers before we step into it.
yeah.
Just go
Yeah.
ahead and take the leap, and even when it gets hard, be willing to surrender, to listen, that you're not
Yes.
too old, it's not too late, your dream is not too big, too small,
That
too
part, that part,
enough.
that part, that part.
Yeah.
You're not too young, you're not too old, it's not too soon, it's not too, you're not like if you were given a desire in your heart, you need to follow that, right? And sometimes, listen, I know it is hard. It was hard for me, but I think what you just said is right. Um, because regrets are just and the last, maybe one of the last things I'll say is my mother, who is no longer with me, she was a amazing side entrepreneur. She had a full-time job and she catered on the side. My mother could cook and she would cater parties, and like people wanted her to do parties, wanted her food at their parties. But she had this full-time job that she couldn't leave because she had to feed her family. And um, she didn't have the opportunity or the resources to give that up and make what she loved the priority. And I'm grateful that she followed what she needed to, or did what she needed to do. But I wish, she had the opportunity to open a business. And so I feel like I am finishing what my mom started. She started jogging, and like I'm like taking a baton and I'm like running with it. And so this is an incredible life journey. I can't wait to see what's next, but it feels really good, and it is never too late, because that story that I had in my head was about to stop me from my destiny.
Mm, that was such a beautiful share. Such a beautiful share. And so, is there one thing that you would want to say before you go to anyone who is on the fence, um, about taking a step to do something that's on their heart to do? And it may not necessarily be leaving a job or pivoting a career. It may be ending a relationship. It may be relocating. It may be, um, choosing to have a child um, on their own. It could be anything, but whatever it is on their heart that's in their vision, that they would like to really see it manifest and be a part of their reality. What?
Oh, that's a really good question. And the thing that I would say, a good friend of mine, maybe 2 years ago, asked me this question. And she asked me, "What are you pretending not to know?"
Mm,
And the first thing that came up for me is I hate my job.
yeah, yeah,
Right. So you could be in a relationship and it could be, what am I pretending not to know is this is not serving me any longer,
yeah.
or, whatever it is. I think that question does dig so deep, because if you're honest with yourself, it'll unearth something that needs to come up and
Mhm.
that needs to be recognized. And I think that thing that comes up, perhaps that's the thing to change.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, so before you go, how can people get in touch with you?
I'm on Instagram. I think maybe that's one of the easier things. It's Luxe NU. So it's LUXE underscore N underscore U. And my website is Luxu Florals. And let me see what else. I think those are the two main ways to get in touch with me. But Instagram, I'm building it. So stay tuned to all the things that I have coming up for the holiday season.
Ooh, can't
Yeah.
wait. So, and I'll place those in the show notes as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
What are you most grateful for in this moment?
Oh, you, our sister. Listen, I am a girl's girl. You hear me? So
Mhm.
when I meet another sister who is, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm about to get emotional, but when I meet another sister like that just is like, how can I support you? How can I hold space for you? You are one of those people for me. And you do it with such authenticity because I feel like we share with each other. It's not a one-sided thing. Because sometimes when you're talking to people and you're pouring your heart out and they don't share a piece of their life that may either they've gone through it and they have a piece of advice to offer you, or it's so nice when people could be vulnerable with each other. And sisterhood is, oh, we wouldn't make it without each other. And so I am grateful for you and our friendship. Our coach, you've been my coach too. There's like so many things that are so amazing about you, and I'm grateful to, and even how our paths cross. God is just in stuff. But I'm grateful for you and just you being my sister.
Mm,
Thank you.
The
And I'm
feeling,
honored to be here today.
yeah, the feeling is mutual, dear, because you've been so many things to me, for me, with me throughout, like, again, since the day we met.
Yeah.
My accountability partner, me calling me. I remember even the day when I was like, I just don't even have the capacity for this. And you were like, I'm gonna stop you there because you do have the capacity. You called me on my mess and I rose to the occasion. And
Yeah.
so I just thank you for your genuine love. Um, how do you choose joy and choose it consistently?
Music.
Mm,
Music. That's a listen. If you know me, you know that I can't, like, I have a loudspeaker in every single room, upstairs, downstairs, in the middle stairs, like everywhere.
yeah.
I must hear music.
Mm,
And sometimes even that's all over the place. I start with gospel at noon. I'm listening to Two Chains at 6 o'clock is Jay-Z. Like, but listen, the music fits my mood, and I cannot live without music. It's a great expression for me. Sometimes if I have anxious energy, I have a gym right here. I come down, I put on that music, and I'm Beyonce's backup dancer. I'm get me body. So I am ready. Okay. So music, that's how I find so much joy in the soundtracks of my life.
That's beautiful. The running joke in my house is that I like music, but I hear the beats before I hear the lyrics. And a lot of
Um,
times I don't know the lyrics. And so that's
oh,
a
I know your kind.
that's another conversation. But yeah. So thank you so much for dropping in
Thank
and
you.
sharing your gifts, your wisdom, your beauty with us. And ooh, well, we can probably come back and talk about this, but let me just ask you this one more thing. I know we talked about like your two words for the year was transformation and freedom. Do you feel like this journey has lended or honored those two words for you?
What? Yes,
Okay.
yes. I've transformed in, um, I mean, the way I've accelerated and shifted and moved in this year. I've been keeping a journal. I have to go back and look at this journal because the journey has changed me for sure.
Mm.
People that haven't spoken to me in a minute, they're gonna and talk to me today. They're gonna be like, who is that? I mean, there's still the core pieces of me, but there are things that I've been working on that I've had to go deep with. And I have an amazing coach, right? And then I have you too as a coach. You sometimes you can't do it alone. Like sometimes I need someone to help me sort out my mess, and I've been on that journey this year. So my this year has for sure been transformative, and I do feel free. I feel so liberated, and I'm a very I could do anything kind of person. Now, am I gonna cry and fall down and trip up and make mistakes? Yep. But I'm gonna do it, right? And so the freedom in knowing that I am free to create, build, conquer, uh, do all the things that I need to do to get to where I see my vision. And the thing is about visions, all of our visions, we don't even know like how it's like 10x bigger than we even think it is. And so, even my biggest vision that I see, I can't wait. Like I can't wait. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. So yes, it's been a transformative year and I do feel free.
Ooh.
Oh, feel
You
free.
come back and talk about that?
Oh yeah. Anytime.
Thank you. Thank
Anytime.
you. Because I really want to dive into that, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sure our listeners want to know too, what does she mean? Like the, if you look through her journals and you see where she is now and what was happening then, like let's do it. Yeah, let's have
That's
another
here
conversation.
for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
So
know,
yeah,
so you
thank
know what we
you.
should do? We should get other women like to talk about this because I think it's
Yeah.
so we're all and I love the way you set up sort of spaces for women to be able to. I mean, you're an amazing coach, so that's like what you do, but it feels really good when you could hear from other women and they could be like, yup, and then I did this, and you're like, what? So it just feels good. But I'm not trying to design no format. See, that's my control again. Whatever you want to do, I'm here for it.
No, I love that idea. I totally embrace that. And so I'm actually gonna get on that. Let's make that happen soon.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it
Yeah.
happen soon.
Okay. All
So thank
right.
you again for your time. Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
Melanie.
Yeah, and thank you all for tuning in. I'm so glad
Yes, thank
you
you so
got to
much.
experience my girl, my sister, my friend, my accountability partner, Miss Paula Frank. And you know how
Thank
this
you,
goes. Like
everyone.
your freedom lies in your decision to say yes to who you are, yes to what
Yes.
you want, and yes to what you stand for. So will you stand for making a decision to live in joy, even if it
Mm,
absolutely scares you today? And for that, I say thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode. So long.
so long. Thank you.